Hey guys, so I thought this would be a really fun video to do as I try to mix these midweek videos up and cover different parts of my collection and just kind of change things up and keep things fresh and interesting. So today what I thought would be fun to do would be to go over the top 10 comics in my collection. And these are all CGC graded. Now, the way I ranked these was not by value. Obviously, value is a factor that plays into it, but it's only one factor that goes into the equation. It has to do with how much I like the character, the story, the art, the cover, things of that nature. So it would be my top 10 favorite comics as a whole that I have in my collection. And also, what I'm going to do in this video is tell you the top 10 comics that I want to get into my collection. And obviously everybody wants an Action Comics #1, Detective Comics 27, Amazing Fantasy 15, obviously. However, those are not realistic. I never in a million years am I going to get those unless I win the lottery or something to that effect. The books that I have on the list are books that I believe are attainable for me, where if I hustle enough, I could potentially get them. Where they're expensive. They could be some of them in the $5,000 to $10,000 range, depending on the grade that I want to get. But for me, that's attainable in the sense that I have enough stuff in my collection where I can sell realistically $5,000 to $10,000 worth of things and be able to get it and not have to actually spend any money out of pocket, so to speak. So that's how I'm looking at it. Before I go any further, please be sure to comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and let me know what you guys think of my two lists, actually, that are in this video. And from the books that I have, let me know if you would reorder them in any way. From the books that I want, let me know if you would reorder those in any way. So, here we go. So, at number 10... and and all these books that I have are either modern, bronze, or copper age, essentially. I don't really have any golden age books that would be in my top 10. I do have some golden age books, but they're not anything special. It's just some golden age books that I have that I've come across over the years, but they would not make it into the list. These books are all, like I said, modern, bronze age, silver age, and copper. So anyways, at number 10 is this would be considered a modern classic, and it is Ultimate Fallout #4. First appearance of Miles Morales, and I have this in a 9.6. This book has really taken off in the last few years, and rightfully so. It's a modern classic, and it deserves to be. Miles is a great character, and his usage is just right now at the tip of the iceberg. He's going to be a huge character for years to come. Next, at number 9, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures #1. This I've shown a few times. I got this signed by Kevin Eastman, and it's graded an 8.0. And this is the first appearance of Bebop, Rocksteady, and Krang, and also essentially the first appearance of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon versions in comic. Number 8, this one, while it's more significant than a lot of my books in this list, it's probably one of the most significant, actually. It's probably in the top 3. But the cover is what really does this book in. It's really kind of a bad cover. So it really, I think, hurts this book. But it's on my list because it's a very significant book. It is Fantastic Four 48, the first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus cameo. Again, amazing book for the characters that it introduces. But again, the cover, not so much. And I have this in a 6.0. Next is a DC book, which I love. I love Neil Adams. I think he's an amazing artist. I love a lot of his Batman covers, especially. And this is one of my favorites. It is Batman 232, signed by Neil Adams, and it is the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul, and I love this cover. I love the way it just pops. I love the green. I just think it's an amazing looking cover, and that is at number 7. At number 6, this one is important on several levels. First of all, for the character that it introduces, and the fact that I have it signed by Stan Lee. And it's actually an iconic cover. I love this cover. And it is Amazing Spider-Man 238, the first appearance of Hobgoblin. I have it in a 9.4, and it's signed by Stan Lee. It's actually signed by John Romita as well. It's signed by both of them. There's John Romita's signature and Stan Lee right there. His is in silver. And Stan Lee right there. And it's in a 9.4. And this is one of the most popular cover swipes that there is. So many artists do this cover. So it's an amazing cover. Great first appearance. And having it signed by Stan Lee. I have it in a 9.4. So that is number 6. Now we're into the top 5. At number 5, this is one of the most important comics really in the last probably, 50 years. And it is Giant Size X-Men number 1. And I have this in a 6.0. It's the first appearance of the new X-Men team. It's the first appearance of Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Thunderbird to a lesser extent, and the second appearance of Wolverine. It's an awesome, a great cover. It's just a huge book. Its importance cannot be understated. So that is why, for me, it's at number 5. At number 4, while this book doesn't really have any first appearances or anything important like that, it is a classic, iconic cover. Probably one of my most favorite covers of all time. Again, as I indicated earlier, I love Neil Adams, and this is probably his most famous cover. And it is Batman 251. It's the famous Joker cover. And I have this in a 5.5. I adore this cover. And again, this is another one that gets a lot of cover swipes. It's just incredible. And I have it again in a 5.5. Next, this is another book which I think is an important book in the X-Men books. And one of my all-time favorite covers. And I have it in a pretty high grade, so I have this at number 3. It is X-Men 101, the first appearance of the Phoenix, and I have this in a 9.0. And I love this cover so much. It is so beautiful. At number 2, while this is definitely a significant book, it's a significant character. It's not, definitely not the most, second most expensive book on this list, but I love this character and I love this cover. It's one of my all-time favorite covers. It's one of my all-time favorite characters, and this is Amazing Spider-Man 129. Our first appearance of the Punisher. And I have it in a 6.5. Now, when I look at this book and I look at it, I can't really tell where the defects are. Like, the cover is, has very minimal spine ticks. I'm not I wasn't really sure where the 6.5 came from. I bought this years ago on eBay. And I ended up tracking down the grader notes on it. And it actually has basically a pressable defect right here, where a press would get this out. It's almost like a little bit of a water stain where the press would get this out. This book, I think, if I was to do that, would probably go up to an 8.5 or a 9, because otherwise this book is in incredible shape. It never got pressed. So I think I could probably get it to go jump up a significant grade. And I just can't bring myself to send it to CGC, especially with CGC's turnaround times now, which are pushing a year, for crying out loud. I just can't bring myself to be apart from this book for that long. I know that sounds crazy, but I just can't do it. And yeah, maybe someday I will. I'm in no rush. And my number one comic that I have in my collection, it's a book that it's an amazing cover. It's one of my probably top 5 comic characters of all time. If I was to rank them, let's see. I would say this character is number 4 for me as far as comic book characters go. And it is the first full appearance of Wolverine, the Incredible Hulk, 181. And I have it in a 5.5. This is my personal holy grail book that I own. I love this book. Wolverine is one of my all-time favorite characters, and to have his first full appearance, it's really... it's almost awe-inspiring to me, in all honesty. So, that is my top 10 books in my collection. Now I'm going to go through the top 10 books that I want to get in my collection. And I would like to get all these eventually, and I would like to get them graded. But obviously, the price is going to dictate what grade I'm ultimately going to end up with. And most of these, I would be happy with anything in the 4 range or better, quite frankly. So at number 10, it's Aquaman number 35, and it's the first appearance of Black Manta. First of all, I'm probably one of the few Aquaman fans in the world, and I think Black Manta is a great character. And this is actually not a very expensive book, relatively speaking, to all the other books on the list. This is relatively attainable. Probably I could get a decent copy for, $1,000, maybe less, in a pretty good grade. So at number 10, Aquaman 35. At number 9, I'm going to go with Amazing Spider-Man number 14, the first appearance of the Green Goblin. I mean, what is there to say about this book? I mean, Green Goblin, arguably a Spidey's top villain, arguably. And it's a great cover. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, it's just incredible. So, Amazing Spider-Man number 14. At number 8, I have the first appearance of Blade in Tomb of Dracula number 10. This is a really cool cover. I think Blade, I was really introduced to the character in the Wesley Snipes movies, but the MCU is going to be introducing their own version of Blade, which is going to be really cool. I have some Blade comics. He's done well in the comics, and I think his first appearance would be amazing to have. Plus, I think it's a great-looking cover. So, Tomb of Dracula, number 10. At number 7, again, I love those Batman villains. Batman 171, the first Silver Age appearance of the Riddler. I love this cover. I think this is one of the coolest covers ever. I just love the way the colors pop in it with the tornado. It's just unbelievable. I would love to get this book. At number 6, this one, it was really hard not to put this book higher, but it is what it is. At number 6, it's Batman 359, the first appearance of Batgirl. Obviously, she's a critical character, and look at this cover, guys. This is an incredible cover. I would love to get a nice graded copy of this book. At number 5, this one is one of Marvel's biggest villains. He's an incredible villain, and he's obviously coming to the MCU. And he's been done in film a couple of times now, and poorly. I mean, it's really a shame that his villain has not been done justice on screen, and it is Fantastic Four number 5, the first appearance of Doctor Doom. Obviously, it's a critical character, and it's a cool classic cover. I would absolutely love to get this. At number 4 is one of my, I would say, top 10 favorite characters. And I think this book is actually, believe it or not, undervalued. And it is Daredevil number 1. For a first appearance of a major character like this book is relatively attainable. It's all relative. It's relative when you compare it to first appearance of the Hulk, first appearance of Iron Man, first appearance of Spider-Man, like that. While Daredevil's not on that level, he's a really high up second tier character. And this book is pretty attainable, relatively speaking. So that's at number 4. At number 3, this book is this high up simply because it's one of my all-time favorite covers, and I actually can't believe I don't have this in my collection. Realistically, this will probably be my next key that I end up getting, because it's from the top 5 books in my list here. This is the most affordable. It's one of my favorite covers of all time. It is Silver Surfer number 4. Just iconic Silver Surfer and Thor battle. It just looks absolutely stunning. At number 2, this one is probably the most expensive book on this list. So it kind of teetered on the edge here. I could get a second printing of this book, which looks exactly like the first, but it's normal size. The first print of this book is basically magazine size, but the second, I believe, is normal size. So it does have its benefit to get the second print. And it is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1. I mean, come on, guys. What is there to say about this? No explanation needed. But the first one, the first print is starting to get in that unattainable range where it's starting to push $15,000, $20,000. I mean, I would have to sell a lot of stuff in order to get it. So realistically, maybe a second print someday would be my best bet. And at number 1, this one is relatively price-wise attainable. It's been rising in price over the last few years, but it's still, again, it's attainable. I would have to hustle to get it, but I could do it with a lot of work. And it is the first Silver Age appearance of Captain America, Avengers number 4. Captain America is, for me, my top 2 all-time characters are Batman and Superman. They just are. But as far as Marvel is concerned, Captain America is just a smidge behind them. And I love Captain America. I love what he stands for. He's got the moral compass of Superman, which I just love, that goodness, that wholesomeness. I know it's cheesy, but I love it. And I love the character. And this is his first Silver Age appearance. His first Golden Age appearance, forget it. I mean, that ain't happening. But this is an awesome cover, and I would love to get this someday. So there it is, guys. There's my top 10 books in my collection, and the top 10 books that I want to get in my collection. Let me know what you guys thought of the list. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and the See, the word of this video is going to be comic. So there you go. Sorry I made you guys wait so long. So anyways, guys, again, thank you again so much for the support. We're pushing 900 subscribers. So we're getting there. We're 100 subscribers away from 1,000. Let's do this. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe already. Share this with your friends if you think they would like the content. So let's get us to 1,000 so we can get to that awesome giveaway. And I've already gotten well beyond more stuff for the giveaway than I actually showed in my giveaway video that I did several months ago at this point. There's going to be even more prizes. So once I announce it, it's going to be just amazing. So let's get to 1,000. Let's do this. And until next time, guys, take care.